Hey everyone, welcome to the Wildflower Magic Podcast. I'm Katie. You can find me on Instagram as Wildflower Magic 18 and on Ravelry as Wildflower Magic. I'm getting better about remembering to update my Ravelry, so that's exciting. I've been practicing. I'm so glad that you're here. Let's chat about knitting for a while. Important things about me, I guess. I live in Virginia Beach with my partner Alan and our 6 animals. I have 3 giant dogs, 2 cats, and a bunny running around here somewhere. The dogs and I just came in from being outside, so hopefully they just lay down and sleep the whole time so that I can get through this without too many interruptions. Hopefully. Alan is currently working night shift, so he's upstairs asleep right now, which is why we are hanging out in my kitchen. You get a whole tour of the house, I guess. But my craft room, like the studio space that we have, is right next to our bedroom upstairs, and I didn't want to risk waking him up, even though he is an incredibly heavy sleeper. I didn't want to risk that, so he has to work like 14 hours tonight, so we'll let him sleep as best we can. Other than that, I've been pretty busy. I work at my local yarn store, and we've had local yarn store day at the end of last month, and then Maryland Sheep and Wool happened, and this week is yarn crawl. So we have been extremely busy. It's been so much fun though, and I've had such a good time getting to meet a bunch of people, and it's been great. So let's talk about knitting. I don't really have a lot, even though I've been gone for a hot minute. I've been doing a little bit on a lot of things instead of a lot on a few things, and I don't usually operate like that. I usually like to get a lot of work done on a few amount of projects, and I haven't been doing that. So you've seen a lot of this before if you watched my last episode, but there are a couple new things. The first is I did finish something. I talked last time I was getting ready to go to my parents' for the weekend, and I finished the balloons hat. I finished the balloons hat, and the recipient very much enjoyed it. I was super happy. It was very well received. It was out of this Inti cotton yarn, Peruvian cotton, and it's super pretty. I really, really liked it, and my mom loved it so much that she asked for one in blues and purples. So I got this yesterday. I'm going to cast her on a hat. I'm seeing my mom at the end of the month again, so I'm going to try to have this done by the end of the month because it's a cotton hat, so it's not going to be terribly warm, which is what she wants because my parents go out on a boat on the ocean a lot. They live in Surfside Beach, and she just wants a hat that she can wear to try to keep the wind off of her ears and stuff, so it doesn't need to be terribly warm. So she wants that. I'll try to get it to her by the end of the month, but we'll see. I haven't been completing very many things lately, so we'll try. Other than that, since last time, I have made no progress on this, really. Maybe a couple of rounds. I'm at the point where I'm trying to decide whether I want to do a heel flap and gusset like I usually do, or if I want to just do an afterthought heel. Have not decided yet. I did get a blue. Oh, I don't think I have it close by. I did get a blue. It's like this electric blue color, and that's going to be my heels and toes. It's going to be a very vibrant sock. I'm very excited. This is called, the yarn is Rainbow Graffiti. It's by Twisted Ambition Yarns. It glows under black lights, which is super cool. I've really enjoyed knitting it. I love all the bright colors. This isn't something that has a deadline, so it's because it's just for me, so it's kind of been pushed a little bit to the back burner, but I've enjoyed having it around for social knitting. Like, I'm going out with some friends tonight, so I'll probably take this with me, which means I need to decide very quickly what I'm going to do about the heel. I'll have to make that decision soon. I have finished half of the project, I guess. This is the Brick Socks by Sarah Dawn's Designs. I test knit this pattern. I loved it. It was super fun. It's a really cool texture. It looks like bricks, and I thought it would be really cool in this yarn. Alan picked this yarn out for himself. The main color is Twisted Ambitions in Don't Rock the Jukebox. It's a 75-25 superwash merino nylon blend. And then the orange is called Fall Orange. It's by Sheep Graffiti, which is the in-house, I guess, yarn brand. The owner of the yarn store I work at dyes sheep graffiti, and this is one of her minis. It's an 80/20, I think. Alan picked these out for himself one day when he brought me coffee at work. So I was happy to make those for him. I'm working on the second one. I just have the heel or the cuff done so far. I need to switch needles. For Alan's socks, I do 25 rounds of his cuff on a 1x1 rib. Usually I do twisted rib, but this time I didn't. And I do that on a size 0, and then I switch up to a 1 for the rest of the sock because he is quite tall, but he is very slim. And so I do a tighter cuff just to make sure that they stay up well. He really enjoys that. So that's what we do. So I'm at the point where I need to switch to a 1 and get on it. I have big goals, and I haven't been completing very many things, so I'm not sure how well we're going to get done with these goals, but that's fine. The other socks that I had on the needles last time that I podcasted were the Mermaid Avenue socks. They're no longer socks. I finished the first one and the leg of the second one, and then after putting on the first one for a while, I just wasn't a huge fan of the texture. I don't really like a lot of texture in my socks, and it didn't bother anybody else I did it as a class. It didn't bother anybody else. I just wasn't a huge fan of it, and so I pulled them out, and I have a different mermaid sock pattern that I'm gonna do that's a little bit less textured. It still has a very similar kind of aesthetic, but without a lot of the bulkiness that the other pattern had. It was a gorgeous pattern, and it was so much fun to knit, and I might try it again as like a gift to give to someone else, but I want this yarn for myself. So this yarn is not a gift yarn, so I'm gonna make a different mermaid pattern out of this. And then I have some yarn in stash that I'll make that mermaid pattern for someone who's not as texture sensitive as I am, I guess. My grandma would probably love them, so I might make them for her soon. But I did really enjoy the pattern. It was so much fun to make. The repeat was very enjoyable, so highly recommend. Very cute. My next socks that I just cast on a couple days ago are called Fan of Everything by Sock Witchery, and I can show you a picture of the pattern really quickly. So they look like this. And they're so cute, and I am having a really good time with this. So this is my current sock class. I teach knitting classes at the yarn store, and this is the pattern that we're using for my current class. And I am making it out of 29 Bridges Studio. This colorway is called Patina Yellow, and this is Little Miss Sunshine by the same. It came as a set, so the two yarns came together as a sock set, and I bought this the day that my class started because I cast on a knit with my students, I guess. And then I got home and realized that I had already bought it, so now I have two, which I'm not complaining because it is incredibly beautiful, but I had forgotten that I bought this for myself. I've been eyeing it since I started at the yarn store like a couple months ago. I'd been wanting it. I thought I talked myself out of buying it. I did not. So now I have two. There'll be socks at some point. These are for me, so there's 64 stitches on the US one. I did a 1x1 twisted rib and then followed the pattern. I'm at the part where I'm gonna do my heel, so I have to wait for class because we do our heels together in class. So this one's waiting. I really enjoyed making this. I blew through it in like 2 days, a day and a half. And I was working at the same time, so it wasn't like a full day. I just loved making this. So I'm debating. I have another set of ones free right now, and I'm debating whether I'm going to cast on the second one and just knit them like in tandem with each other. So knit the leg and get to the heel again, or if I'm going to cast on a new sock because I need a fourth sock project, right? Do I need a 4th sock project, or do I need to get this one done faster? I don't know yet. I haven't decided. We'll see. I'll keep you posted. Other than that, other than socks, I only have my shawl, which does have progress on it. So this is the open bar shawl by Callie Monster of Monster Knits. There we go. So this is the open bar. Oh, that's the back. I'm sorry. Here we go. Try again. This is the open bar shawl. It's on my ends. I have a handful of repeats left, so I think I have the rest of this ripple, and then a couple chevron patterns, and then I think one more repeat of this, and then I'll be done. But it's going to block. It's going to be so big when it's blocked because this stretches so much. It's going to be wonderful. This is not where I was last podcast. I don't remember where I was, but this is a Twin Mountain Handcrafts stitch marker, one of their Wildflower ones, of course. So I am quite excited about this. My goal is to have this done by the end of the month. I did this as a knit along with the yarn store, so my goal is to have this done by the end of the month in June. Oh, I guess I didn't talk about that. What I'm wearing. This is the Bojagi shawl, and this is going to be my next shawl. This is going to be a shawl class in June and July at the store, and it's going to be a really fun class because we have a lot of different elements going on. We have some lace, so some basic lace and cables. So we're going to learn how to cable without a cable needle. We have an introduction to mosaic knitting through here, and then the rest is garter stitch. The yarns that I used in this were all Emma's. Trying to remember the colorway. I think this is called 10 Questions, the orange. The green is Kale, and the gray is... I don't remember. Sorry, I don't remember. It's on Ravelry. I did put it on Ravelry, so it'll be on there. But they're all Emma's colorways. I made this a while ago. Oh, and I have my... Oh. Ashes just jumped on my lap. I have my she, her pronoun pin that I wear. I especially wear it to work. And I got this off of Etsy from, I'll have to look it up because I don't remember, something about a witch was her username. Give me 2 seconds. I love. She is Reaper Witch Co. It's my she, her Luna Moth pronoun pin. And she's on Etsy. I ordered this before the Etsy hike, so I don't know if she's still on Etsy or if she has another place that you could buy it from that won't charge her as much selling fees. But I really like it. I wear it on my shawls just about every day that I'm out, and it's been very useful. So we're doing this shawl. I'm doing the shawl as my next shawl class. It's going to be through June and July at the store. I'm using Life in the Long Grass for this. The colors are Bouquet and Lilac. I think I showed them on the podcast before. They're the 50% silk and 50% merino base. And I'm super excited. So this is kind of fall-y colors, and my next one's going to be bright, bright spring. So it'll be really fun. But I really would like to get the open bar completed before I start my next shawl for class, because I will be knitting it along with the class. So that's my goal. I also really want to get the brick socks done like next week. And then my class, my Fan of Everything socks, will be done by the end of the month because that's when class ends. So I have a lot of knitting to get done, especially if I want to get my mom's hat done by the end of the month. And I have this very wild idea that I'm going to make my grandma some socks for her birthday. Don't tell her. She probably knows I give her socks all the time, so she probably knows. But her birthday is also at the end of the month. So it sounds like I'm casting on another pair of socks. Sounds like that's my decision of what to do with my extra needles. So I'm going to do that later. I don't have yarn picked out yet. I will grab something from my stash. She likes bright, happy colors, and I have a plethora of those. So sounds like that's what I'm doing later today. Other than that, I have been doing a lot of yarny things. So I went to Maryland Sheep and Wool, and that was such a good time. I've never been before because I've been on the West Coast for so long. So I've gone to all the West Coast yarn festivals, but I have not. Can you get down, please? I have not been to East Coast ones. So I was really excited to go to Maryland Sheep and Wool. Alan went with me. We drove like 4 hours each way to go walk around the festival in the rain. So that was really fun. It actually was. I said that sarcastically, but it actually was. We love road trips, so we had a really good time hanging out in the car together. And we went on Sunday, so it was very wet and chilly and muddy, but it was not raining. So can't ask for more, I guess, right? It was a lot of fun. We had such a good time. Alan's such a good sport, and he had a lot of fun too. So that was great. I'm not going to show all my acquisitions because that would, I don't know, I don't like that. So I'll show you as I'm planning on knitting with them. But the one that I'm going to start on pretty soon is, isn't this bag cute? It's from Cottontail Farm. I'm going to make a sweater. I got a sweater's quantity worth of this undyed alpaca from Deli's Delights Farm, which is a farm in Virginia. And this is just 100% alpaca, undyed, which is my favorite. It's so squishy. It's a sport weight, a light sport weight, heavy fingering, somewhere in there. It might knit up as a DK though. So I have a sweater's quantity worth of this. I'm going to start a sweater. And I think I'm just going to do a big oversized cozy cardigan to wrap up in. It's going to be heavenly. I cannot wait. So I'm planning on getting that done. I did buy this at Maryland. Actually, Alan talked me into it because I love rustic wools. If it's undyed and I have to pick hay out of it, I'm just so happy. And I picked this up and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this so much. And it's from Virginia and it's just so dreamy. But I didn't know what I would make with it. I wasn't sure I wanted to get 2 of them to get his whole sweater's quantity. And he was like, what are you talking about? That's what you came here for. Get the sweater's quantity. So here we go. Now I'm making a sweater. I'm very excited for it. I got these super cute buttons. Can I reach them? Yes. From Dimensions Buttons. We had her at our store for a trunk show during local, nope, not during local yarn store day. Try again. During Yarn Crawl yesterday, and I think she's there today too. Dimensions Buttons came, and she has the cutest handmade buttons and shawl pins and earrings and all that stuff. Here's her little logo. And she includes washing instructions, which is super cute. So I'm gonna put these on my cardigan. I don't usually button my cardigans, but it's all about the look, right? So these go on my cardigan. I'm very excited. This will hopefully be the first cardigan that I've actually completed because previously I have stopped making them. I think that when I first started knitting, I was very much a progress knitter. I just wanted to complete things. Now I'm much more of a process knitter. So I think I will find sweaters much more enjoyable now that they don't take so long and so much of my attention. So I'm really excited for that. The other person that we are having at the store for a trunk show for Yarn Crawl is Native Fibers. This is Megan, and her mom, Michelle, was also there. And isn't this so cute? It's like mint chocolate chip ice cream. This is called Footloose, and I love it so much. So this is a DK. I'm probably gonna do a hat or fingerless mitts. Those are my favorite things to do with DK. My cat, sorry. Otherwise, I primarily use fingering weight, but I just couldn't resist. She's so sweet. We actually, myself, Megan, and Michelle went out to dinner after the store closed yesterday. We're also going out to dinner after the store closes today. They're only in town until tomorrow, so we became very fast friends, and I'm super excited for that. I think we're going to Rhinebeck together. That'll be fun. Another thing that I'm planning on starting soon, but probably not until next month, is I got this yarn from the Border Mill in the UK. This is alpaca and rose silk. So it's a 50-50 blend, and it is wonderful. It is so smooth. I'm very excited to knit with this. I'm going to make these fingerless mitts. So I'm doing a Norwegian colorwork pattern, and I'm super excited, but I don't think I'm gonna let myself start this until maybe next month when I have not as many things going. But I did wind it because I was just excited to. I needed to have my hands on it without knitting it, so I just decided to wind it and then put it in a bag. So it's just sitting there waiting for me. And I think the last project that I have coming up is kind of a big one. Alan and I are going to Disney World for 10 days in October. We're going for the last week of October and the first week of November, plus a couple days. So we're going to be there for Halloween, which is my all-time favorite holiday. And we're going to be there for Christmas, for like all the Christmas decorations. So that's super exciting. And I have it in my head that I want to find Disney-themed yarn and make both of us as many pairs of Disney-themed socks as I possibly can to wear around the parks. So we're going to be at the parks for 10 days, so I would like to have at least 5 for each of us. We can just wear them twice, which is quite a task. But I'm going to start with, I do have some Disney yarns from What the Flock, and I bought these a while ago, and I did not look before I started talking about this, whether they still dye yarn or not. I have no idea. But I got this probably on Etsy, like 3 years ago probably. So this is Lord of the Underworld, and it's Underworld, like W-H-I-R-L-E-D. So this is Hades based, or Hades inspired, I guess. And I have a handful of these. I think I have an Ursula and a Ariel, and I also have a Rafiki that's really cool. And I'm trying to think. I think those might be the only ones that I have right now. But I have Desert Vista Dyeworks self-striping sock yarn in my cart on her website because she has multiple in her Zombody colorways. Her self-striping yarn is fantastic if you haven't tried it. Highly recommend. And she has a lot of Zombody colorways that are Disney inspired, and so I'm going to get some self-striping yarn to make us socks. And I've been kind of browsing to see if I can find others that I want to use, but I'm going to start with those, I think. But I need to get busy because if I'm going to make like 8 to 10 pairs of socks before October, I should have started a while ago. That's fine. We'll get it done. I think that that's everything that I have on the needles or am planning to have on the needles soon. I do have something cute that I want to show you. I love Twin Mountain Handcrafts. I've talked about them multiple times and they're on my Instagram constantly. And I got new stitch markers yesterday. So if I can flip them all over so they're all in the same direction. Anyone who knows me in real life or probably follows me on social media knows that I am obsessed with coffee. Look how cute these are. So I got the same set in 2 different sizes. So I got the clasps here, and then I also got the exact same set on the tiny little squares because these are quite large for size 1s, which is what I make. I make the socks the most. So I also got the mini version. And then I also got, sorry, these, holding up stitch markers is kind of a task. Like if people do this gracefully, I envy them. Okay, I got these cat stitch markers. Aren't they cute? So I got myself those. I don't need this many stitch markers, but at the same time I do, you know? You just need them, especially the coffee ones. They're so cute. Oh, I have my Winnie the Pooh cup. My mother spent weeks and probably an excessive amount of money buying me an entire Winnie the Pooh set of dishes, but they don't all match. It's several different sets with this kind of aesthetic. I think I have 3 different sets of dishes that she kind of like mix and matched, and they're all Winnie the Pooh themed to go with my bright yellow kitchen, and it's super exciting. So I've been enjoying that. A lot of podcasters do like a reading and watching section, and I think that's super cool. I don't watch things though. I really don't. I don't really watch TV. I watch podcasts and I watch documentaries. So I guess I could talk about those, but I do read a lot. I'm currently reading 2 books. I'm reading If I Never Met You, which is a super good book. I'm not super far in it yet, but her name is pronounced Vah-Ree. It is Scottish, and I really enjoy romance novels that have like strong female characters, and if the female characters are neurodivergent or like BIPOC or in the LGBTQIA community, even better, or like plus sized, and this hits several of those boxes. So I'm really enjoying it. It's great. I love when women have goals and ambitions outside of whatever man they're pursuing, or outside of the trope of them being rescued by someone or fixed or saved. So I'm really enjoying this. It's very compelling. I'm not super far in. I'm like, where's my bookmark? My bookmark fell out. I think I'm like, yes, here-ish. So I have about that much stuff. My Kindle just tells me how much I have done. But it's really good. I highly recommend it. It's very fun. She has another book too. This is my first time that I've read her, but she has another book that's Don't You Forget About Me, and it's on my list to read next because I love her writing style. I love her characters. Look at my little squirrel knitting a sock. That's so cute. So on my Kindle, I am reading The Dragon Reborn, which is the 3rd book in the Wheel of Time series. I think it's the 3rd. I don't remember. Yes, the 3rd book in the Wheel of Time series, and I am 46% of the way done. So my goal is to have this done by the end of the week, like next week. So I should have it done in a few days. It's like 700 pages, but I've been reading about 100 pages a day, so I should have it done soon. I started at 200 pages today, and I'm already at 245, so shouldn't take me too long. But yeah, I read very quickly. I read a lot. I don't really watch things. So my watching section is never going to be interesting unless you like ocean documentaries or like documentaries about serial killers. That's about all I watch. I watched a very interesting documentary about hummingbirds the other day. It was on Amazon Prime. Recommend that. I spent 2 hours of my Saturday night watching and learning about different breeds of hummingbirds. Anyway, I don't think I have a whole lot else to talk about. My animals are quite tired, except for my cat who was climbing the blinds a minute ago. Alan is quite tired. He's upstairs sleeping. I'm going out with friends tonight. I'm back in the store tomorrow and have classes on Monday. And I'm just going to spend the rest of the day knitting and hanging out and reading. And I need to do some schoolwork today. I have a paper to write. But other than that, that's about it. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I am really enjoying meeting everybody. Like, I've gotten so many nice messages and comments and became friends with so many people on like Instagram and stuff. And I love that. It is bringing me so much joy. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Invite your friends. And I will see you guys again soon.